It's not up to us to decide who gets to stay in Super Smash Bros. And who doesn't. But if it was, we have some roster changes we'd like you to consider. This legendary lineup should represent synergy, creativity, and personality. It's not enough to grab recognizable faces and friends from Nintendo's past and make them destroy each other. There has to be a reason you'd want to pick them when the cast is this big. We're sure that these 10 characters are each someone's main, and we're sorry we have to drag them through the mud like this, but if we expect the series to be anything more than ultimate, some competitors have to go.
Number 10!
Every non-Echo newcomer in Smash Bros. Ultimate has been introduced with a stunning CG showcase. There is one exception, of course, Piranha Plant. Definitely a thing and not a character, it was first introduced as a sales pitch. If the inherent cheapness isn't already evident, look at Piranha Plant's stupid final smash. It summons Petey Piranha, who is a character, and Petey clangs cages around hoping to catch some of your opponents. Where did these cages come from? Were those in Mario Sunshine or Mario Golf? No, that's what he did as a subspace emissary boss. That's the Smash team's ultimate idea for what a Piranha Plant's most powerful attack would be. Piranha Plant was added to encourage early purchases, diminishing the prestige a roster invitation used to have. And the only reason it isn't higher on this list is that it seems super fun to play as, and all of its moves look sick.
Number 9.
There's probably no better example of the Wii's flash-in-the-pan success with non-gamers than Wii Fit. While it's fun to occasionally break out Wii Sports for a round of bowling, it's hard to imagine many getting back on the balance board, despite sales of 40 million copies between Wii Fit and Wii Fit Plus. The game's meditative emphasis on slow movements and controlled breathing are the furthest thing from the Smash Bros. Chaos. So the Wii Fit Trainer's inclusion immediately seems like an elaborate joke that relies on its own unlikeliness to grab attention. The Wii Fit Trainer almost isn't even a character to begin with. Whether you choose a male or female instructor, they amount to little more than moving illustrations that you're meant to imitate, calmly praising you for holding still. Nearly every effort has been made to make them as indistinct and featureless as possible. The pale skin, the lack of eye or hair color, and the almost emotionless, relaxed voice. It feels like a sculpture that someone got bored with before they finished.
Nice work. Train every day to keep toning your body.
Number 8.
The Star Fox series has been represented in Smash since the original on the N64, with Fox McCloud leading the charge. When Falco was added in Melee, everyone was excited to see who would be the next iconic character to join the fight. Would it be the old and wise Peppy, or perhaps the fan favorite Slippy? No, instead we got Wolf, who is probably the 5th or 6th most iconic character in the series. It's a baffling choice when there is so much more potential in Star Fox. Maybe Wolf would have been a fine addition 20 years from now when Smash is desperate for new blood, but now he just feels like a waste of a slot. We should have got Peppy.
I knew I should have retired back on Corneria.
Number 7.
In the mid-1980s, nearly the entire video game industry was on the brink of bankruptcy. Nintendo was desperate, and in an effort to get stores to carry their products, they developed Rob, the robotic operating buddy. A robot you could play jolly co-op with, he was marketed as an advanced accessory to the upcoming Nintendo Entertainment System. While the connection to these hard times in Nintendo's history serves as a novel piece of trivia, in the end, Rob only worked with 2 games. Above all else, he's loud, slow, and a far worse companion to play with than just about anyone else. There are far more deserving characters that have done more for Nintendo and received none of the recognition that Rob gets. This teacher's pet novelty needs to go away and clear some space for someone else.
Number 6!
The odd thing about Palutena is that she's without a doubt a likable character. She's upbeat, hopeful, and the playful banter between her and Pit can be endearing. It's just that none of that charisma translate into an exciting character. Her beams of light, barrier, and counter moves all seem woefully generic, and in a game with so many larger-than-life characters, Palutena is just sort of left forgotten. To be fair, other Smash characters suffer from a lack of originality when it comes to movesets, but Palutena especially stings because her strong personality feels like it deserved far better. For someone who is an actual goddess, Palutena feels boring and tame.
Many worthy foes have gathered here, and I won't hold back on anyone.
Number 5. Great game, bad Smash character. When battling viruses, Mario's alter ego is unstoppable, but while smashing, he doesn't play all that different from Mario. At least, not enough to warrant creating a whole new character, no matter how many copies the original sold on NES and Game Boy. After Melee, he did not appear in Brawl and almost returned as an alternate costume, which is appropriate because that's exactly what Dr. Mario is. Throwing on a lab coat and a stethoscope and popping pills instead of fireballs is not a compelling recipe for a must-have fighter. Maybe the Doctor could be reworked in the future, but this clone should not be practicing medicine.
Number 4.
There's really no easy way to put this. Back during the lead-up to Melee's release, Sakurai stated on the Japanese equivalent of the Smash Bros. Dojo website that the honor of being the weakest fighter in Smash went to Pichu, a small electric-type baby Pokemon that eventually evolves into Pikachu. Sakurai deliberately gave this poor creature a severe disadvantage. It takes damage from its own electricity-based attacks. Not to mention, given its small body size, Pichu isn't very intimidating, nor are its attacks very powerful. However, Sakurai does mention he thinks that anyone who is able to win with Pichu should take extra pride in their victory.
Number 3.
While the reformed body of Metroid Prime makes for some strong boss fights, Dark Samus isn't really much of a villain. In terms of both game design and the game's lore, it is quite literally just an enhanced copy of Samus Aran. The feeling of threat that it poses comes down to fighting something that's just as capable as you and knows all your tricks. While calculating, Dark Samus doesn't really show much of a personality or motivation beyond feeding on Phazon to sustain its form. It's just a parasite that needs to be exterminated.
Number 2.
Customizable Me's made quite the splash when the Wii originally launched. They had much less of an impact when they were introduced for Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. The idea of a creative fighter in Smash is interesting, but when compared to the finest competitors from Nintendo, Mii's are not. They give you the choice to be a brawler, gunner, or sword fighter, and you can model their appearance after whoever you'd like, but they'll still stare back at you and your opponents with those cold, dead eyes. Lots of fighting games have character creators, but these bland puppets are unfortunately a part of the official roster. And we wish they weren't.
Number 1.
You know you have a compelling character that will get everyone excited when you swap out white clothes for black clothes. A winning combination is to take a chirpy, optimistic hero and suck absolutely all the fun out of him. Clone characters are extremely common in fighting games, but at the very least, they typically have a broader personality than "I just got to watch my first rated R movie and everything about my design will let you know that." To be clear, Dark Pit is not some new character for Smash, but that doesn't make it any more acceptable. Nintendo has a near limitless possibility of characters and is wasting this slot on what essentially amounts to "please take me seriously." Pit is a choice that at best elicits strong indifference. Dark Pit is worse than a bad character, he's a nothing character. Easy Allies create shows, podcasts, reviews, and more thanks to generous viewers just like you. If you like what you see, check out patreon.com/easyallies to help us make more. For just $1 a month, you can gain access to weekly updates, spoiler discussions, and exclusive shows.